Hello and welcome to my podcast, Conversations with Cornelius, where I, Cornelius Patrick O'Sullivan, discuss, chat and hypothesize on all things from fatherhood, marriage, comedy and everything else in between. From time to time, there will be special guests, but mostly it's going to be me and some regular contributors, including my main squeeze, Noelle Patricia O'Sullivan, aka the wife. So sit back, relax and enjoy Conversations with Cornelius. Hello. Welcome to another episode of Conversations with Cornelius. I'm your host, Cornelius Patrick O'Sullivan. It is the 25th of the 1st, 2024, 11:59 a.m. We're still technically in the morning. This podcast has started in the morning at the latest possible time, I grant you, but yet nonetheless we have started in the morning. And I am in, as I said, the John Hume War Room, and I am sitting on my chair. My wife and youngest are gone into town to do a bit of shopping. My other lad has gone to school. I dropped him this morning, and we were supposed to go to Court McSherry today. I'm opening a little comedy club down there this year, and I was supposed to go down and meet the guy that I was supposed to meet, and as I sent him a WhatsApp this morning to say, is everything okay with today? I should be down around 11:30ish, and then he was like, whoa, can you be down at 11? And I was like, whoa, I don't think so. And he was like, whoa, it'll be cutting it tight because I have another meeting at 12. And then I was like, will we reschedule? I'm free again next Tuesday. And he said, yeah, and that was my business, yo. Done, son. But it left me with nothing to do, you know. Obviously, I have to do this podcast. I was going to do it this evening, but then I said to myself, I'm up bright and early. It's 11:59 a.m. By the way, it's now 12, midday. I'm working so hard. I'm podcasting in the morning. I'm podcasting in the early afternoon, as you can hear from this particular podcast. So I just like get it done, get it out of the way, so to speak. Cornelius, are you sick of doing podcasts? How dare you say that to me? How dare you question my authority? I am not. Do you know what? I'm not. I fucking love talking into the old podcast every day. I nearly do one every day. I just don't edit the podcast. Noelle has to edit them, so it's a bit of work for her, like, you know, because I'm a technophobe. And then some people say, oh, you're a technophobe, you're just lazy, boy. You just don't want to do the work. You just don't want to. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm a technophobe, because I would sit down and watch, like, I'd be like, yeah, no bother, I'll sit down. Yeah, perfect, yeah. You just move the mouse there then, yeah. Drop down menu, yeah. Just write that down there now. Drop down menu, yeah. And what? And then... okay, yeah. No, I have that, yeah, I have that. Actually, could you just do all of that again, please? Would you say all of that again, please? All of it again. And could you actually say it in a way that it stays into my ears and computes in my brain so I can recall it when necessary? You can't. Oh, you were doing that, is it? Oh, it's me. It's all right, okay. So no, I'm a technophobe, lads. I swear to God. Noelle does my technology. I know he does different things then for her, do you know what I mean? That's what a marriage is about, do you know what I mean? You help each other out. When you can't do something, you lean on the other person, and then they lean back on you when they need something, do you know? But yeah, so I'm kind of footloose and fancy free there now. I'm footloose and fancy free, and I've even rolled up a bit of a doob, and I've had a little bit of a smoke. So I'm having a smoke and some green juice. That's how I'm starting my early afternoon, and yeah, I'm looking at the tickets. Tickets have gone down again, down to 88 from 99 yesterday's episode. So 11 went yesterday. I'm like, fucking hell, 88. This is amazing. But the days are numbered. It's probably not going to happen. The sellout is probably not going to happen. But who knows? As Journey said, don't stop believing. I had that on in the Alexa blaring that outside in the kitchen this morning. And yeah, I'm still believing. I'm still selling. I'm selling like a motherfucker. I'm door-to-door selling, using my Instagram, using my Facebook, using my Twitter. I'm just pushing. I'm on 96 FM tomorrow morning. Tune in. I'm on with Ross in the morning about just after the 8 o'clock news. So if you are a listener to this podcast and you also like to listen to radio shows, tune into 96 FM where I will be live. Live radio is always fun because anything can happen, and hopefully I'll get to plug the show, and a few more tickets might go from that. And then, as the Everyman said to me, they're very confident. They were like, there's a lot of walk-ups on the night. Like, we get a lot of walk-ups. And so, who knows? Who knows? You don't know. It's just the old nervousness, I think, is manifesting through. Like, I'm so happy with the amount of tickets that I've sold. And I'm actually going to stop talking about tickets now because I'm always fucking talking about tickets. But I'm like really happy. But I'm just like obsessing now on these last few. And I'm like, I need to relax. Like, I need to relax. That's what I need to do. So that's what I'm doing today. So I'm having a J and a green J. A green juice and a J. And I'm going to play some video games when this is finished. I did a WIP last night. I did my very, 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 very last WIP. My very last WIP work in progress in the Cocoa Club. They're unannounced Wednesday shows. They're really good for people who are trying to work out their show. And you're probably saying, what the fuck is he working? He's working his show out 3 days before he's doing the show? No, I'm not. I was just basically rehearsing it. And I wanted to rehearse it again and just make sure I'm match fit for Saturday night. But it was gas because there was 11 people in at the show. Sorry, 12 people eventually in at the show. And at the start, I just had to address it because they were all, bar two, were all female. And they were all under the age of 23. And like 20-year-olds, 22-year-olds and 23-year-olds, mostly female. And I was like, guys, I don't know if you're going to get this show. I don't know, because this is about a 46-year-old man having a midlife crisis. This is completely unrelatable to you. But I'm still going to do it because that's my job. And I did a bit of crowd work at the start, and I talked to them all individually. I felt, look, if I can make a connection with them, first of all, at least they'll be engaged somewhat in what I have to say. But much to my surprise, they all enjoyed it. I have one joke about a town in Kerry called Lichtenau, and it just so happened, and I think this really did work in my favour now, to be fair. It just so happened that 3 of the girls were from Lichtenau. Right, so you couldn't fucking write it, as they say. You couldn't write it like, there I was telling my joke about Lichtenau, and who was in the audience? Only 3 Colleens from Lichtenau. So yeah, that definitely helped. Because they got massively on board after that joke. And I don't know if I've talked about this in the past, but it's the hardest part of stand-up comedy. The easiest thing in the world, like, I know on Saturday it's going to be very easy because like people are there to see me. There's going to be love in the room. They're my audience. They've come specifically. Like, I have friends and family in the audience as well, So it's going to be easy for me. It's going to be fun for me. It's going to be great. But like, what can be really difficult is when you're pulled away. Like, it's like playing soccer, When you're playing at home, you usually win. At best, you'll draw. Oftentimes, you'll die in your hole and you'll lose. But in comedy, it's the same. Like in Cork, in the Cocoa Club, it's easy for me. But when you travel away, like, for example, I've been on tour now all over Ireland with Chris. And I've been in venues where I've had to really, really work to get the audience on side because they're not there to see me. They don't know who I am. I'm just the opening act. I'm just the tinsel to titillate them before the main guy comes out and takes it home, and that's fucking amazing. I'm so happy to be in that position, and it's incredible because there's no forgiving. Then you either nail it or you're nailed to the fucking cross. There's no in between, like, they were okay, no, and you come back sometimes and you like, it's like a fucking poor tradesman blames his tools. Sometimes, like, a poor comedian will be like, oh, the audience, they didn't get me, they didn't like the necrophilia stuff, and I don't know, I mean, fucking hell, my friends think it's great, they just didn't get me, And I just think that's mad. You have, like, if you're a comic, and like, I suppose for years I was kind of like very alt. But I had to find, but I often died because I was too steadfast on the stylistic approach. when, you know, what you have to do is you have to fucking make it palatable. You have to make your style palatable. And last night in the Cocoa Club, I had to make my style palatable to a bunch of, you know, 20-year-old girls, 22-year-old girls, a couple of lads. One guy then came in off the street. I was flyering before the show. And as I said, we have a documentary crew kind of follow me around at the moment. And that's what we do. That's what we do for the WIPs. We flyer before we come in. And he was like, look, I want to actually, capture exactly what's going on. And that's why they were down yesterday now, and they got videos of Harvey and Hunter and a little interview with Noel, and they saw the background to how we run the Cocoa Club. Dan Lucas was here, the manager in the Cocoa Club as well, and he's also my support act. You'll see him on Saturday, the Only Funny German. Just a great guy. And we got loads of little footage, but Dave wanted to capture the flyering on the street, and it was grim. So I'm just having a bit of green juice there. Ooh, Christ. There's fucking ginger inside in that now, man, and I tell you. Ooh, kind of a little bit of a kick. Kind of a little bit of a cocaine kick from it, you know what I mean? But I flyered in this guy anyway, right? And you wouldn't be able to... you would not be able to write this now, right? I swear to God. So I'm out there and flyering. There's nobody coming in at all. It's wet. It's dark. It's great now for the documentary. It's going to look really gritty, And I know that's what he was looking for. And I was on board. I was like, yeah, that will look good. But next thing anyway, I'm flyering and there's loads of people walking. Some people are taking flyers, some people aren't taking flyers. I say loads of people now, it's still quiet, but we're talking Cork City Centre, so it's not desolate. It's not Mallow at 11:30, it's fucking Cork City at 9 o'clock. So there are still people on the streets, but it is compared to a summer's eve when it is absolutely bustling. It's like it is almost too busy. You're avoiding people on every footstep. No, this was quiet. So anyway, we're flying away. I hand out a couple of flyers. No one is expressing any interest. And then there's this guy who's walking down, and he's fairly busy, and he's kind of in his own head. And I say, how are things, stand-up comedy? And he looks up and he goes, "You're Cornelius." And I was like, I am. And Dave was standing right beside me now with the camera. "I fucking love you. And the Viper. The two of you are my favourite comedians in Ireland. Oh my fucking God, boy. Jesus Christ. Are you doing comedy in here tonight?" Honestly, this happened, right? This never happens, by the way. This never ever happens. And Dave is it might even come across as I don't know. I'd have to see the footage, but this happened. So anyway, he's eating a half a roll that he bought from Centra, and he's listening to earphones or something like that. And he takes off the earphones. "You in there?" He goes, I says, "I am, yeah." I said, I'll be on around 9:15, because Dan was doing 10 minutes before me. And he was like, "Jesus, I'll come back. And I said, "No bother at all, no bother." And off he went. And I honestly didn't expect him to come back. But he did come back. He came back, and he brought the average age of the audience up. And it turns out he was 31 years old. He's a soldier. So I took the piss out of him and he took it so well. About the Irish Army being, ooh, we're just looked at as a speck of dust in the world of armies. I think we have two ships. We've two ships, our navy. That's our navy. Two ships. I think. And then I was making a joke about the gun, that there's only one gun, and that they have to pass it up and down from Dublin. So if there's anything happening, and someone have to bring the gun down. And he was in good spirits anyway. We did a good bit of crack, but yeah. I was talking. I'm going to finish up here now because I'm just fucking yapping on, and I have nothing really to say. But I'm only recalling this from last night. I do a part in my show about following your dreams, right? And I talk about COVID, about coming to a bridge, where I was like, what am I doing? What am I fucking doing? What do I want to do? And what's required if I want to do it? And do I want to do it bad enough? And ultimately, I did want to do it bad enough. And I followed my dream, we'll say, of being a stand-up comedian, okay? And then he interjected and he was like, I'm following my dream as well, boy. And he was telling, it was really interesting because it was like the show was, I had to do about 10 minutes up top of crowd work to try and integrate the audience. And he missed all of that and came in. But it was really weird because he almost immediately got what was going on, but he's probably closer in age. He's only 31. I asked him his age, 31. But he's a soldier, and his father and uncle had been a soldier, and his grandfather before him had been a soldier. And he was, and you have to be 35 to get into the army in Ireland, and he's 31. And he had the same thing during COVID. He was like, what am I doing with my life? I've always wanted to be a soldier. And he wasn't going for it. Like, he had just a regular job. And he only got accepted into the army there last week. And it was a real moment in between everybody, all of us. And it was like, wow, yeah, follow your dreams. Like, kind of that vibe. Like, now, the young, white, 20-year-old girls are all about that anyway. They all love the live, laugh, love vibes, you know. So they'd be all about positive vibes anyway. But for a crinkly 46-year-old man, like, it was heartwarming. Like, it was heartwarming to hear that. And yeah, so I did that anyway, and I did that show, and I was really pleased with it, and I can't wait now for Saturday. I can't wait, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try and obsess less about numbers. Sure, I'm fucking delighted. Downstairs is all I ever wanted to do, was sell downstairs. You know, that's all I wanted to do, but I'm just getting closer to zero now, and it's adding a layer of intensity that I don't like. So I'm going to try. I am actually not going to try. I am going to eradicate it from when I stop this podcast. I'm going to stop obsessing. I'm going to check once, twice, no more than 7 times a day. On the hour, every hour, minimum. That's all I'm going to do. All right. But if I check it 2 or 3 times an hour, on peak hours, I'll take those hours off the later. I won't look at it at 2 or 3 and 4 in the morning that time. So yeah, that's it. So yeah, I've nothing else to say, guys. Thanks for tuning in these weekly podcasts. The numbers are great in it, and I'm loving the messages that are coming through. I really am. And lots of people coming to the show. That's what's really cool. Lots of the podcasters are coming to the show, and that is very good. Yeah. So I don't know really what else to say to you. Only that I love you, and staying by the wall. Good night. God bless.